become a person who is mistake worthy. As in, you feel you are worthy enough to make a mistake. There are people who cost me thousands of dollars. Welcome back. In this video, I'm going to talk about the 3 things that are stopping CEOs from building a team and getting team to be responsible and moving on and scaling their company to the next level. At the end of this video, I'm going to tell you one thing that will take your company to the next level. So watch till the end and let's get started. Number 1, become a mistake-worthy individual. What does that mean? What it means is, as a CEO, you are going to make mistakes. You're going to screw up. You're going to fail. You're going to probably get mad, and you might just swear and do stuff and crazy things. Become a mistake-worthy individual. What does that mean? It means that just like Jeff Bezos, who used to get really mad when he didn't get the results. Steve Jobs get really mad when he didn't get the result. So as a human, if you're so passionate about building a company, it's possible that you will screw up. But instead of judging you and fighting you and getting frustrated about yourself, learn to become a mistake-worthy individual. What does that mean? It means that you become a human who will allow you to take some mistakes in. As in, you screw up and you're like, I screwed up. I am responsible. I am responsible. You're radically responsible for your stuff. Whatever mistake you make, you say, I'm responsible for this. I'm responsible for this. Start using the word. Because most of the time, what we do as CEOs is we put the blame on other people. You did this. I asked you to do this. You didn't do it. And you get mad at people and nothing is going to go forward. So first thing, I'm going to tell you about how to handle this in teams, right, in a second. But before that, become a person who is mistake worthy. As in, you feel you are worthy enough to make a mistake. You have high self-worth that will help you to make a mistake. That's so weird to say, right? But the reality is, if you are not willing to accept your mistake, you will not be able to accept mistake from other people. So become a mistake worthy individual. Point number 2, which is give mistake making permission to your team. This is the number 1 aspect as a leader. So if you don't know anything else, understand this. If your team don't have, if the people in your team, they do not have the ability to make mistake, you're screwed. Because they don't take risk. They'll do the minimum. They'll do the thing to make sure that nobody, it's kind of a CYA situation. Cover your ear type situation. Right? They just don't want to take any risk. They just want to just do the minimal job and go from there. That's it. And what happens? What happens is company is not going to move forward. Nobody is taking risks because they are afraid of this monster called CEO, which is you. If you are that person, then people will not take risks because you're yelling at them, screaming at them. It's okay to probably get mad at them when they screw up, but you are not irrational. When people come to you making mistakes, you should accept them as much as you can. So give them mistake-making permission. That gives them the freedom to create, to take risk, to take initiative. How could they take initiative if you're not giving them the permission to make a mistake? Do you understand what I mean? So once you give them the permission, my dad, this is something that I learned from my dad. When I was like 5, 6, or 5th grade or 6th grade, my dad came to me and told me and my sister, screw up anything, anywhere, no problem. Make any mistakes. Fight with anybody if you absolutely need. With teachers, anybody, students, classmates, anything. But you should come and tell me first before anybody tells me. This is a first management principle that I learned when I was in 6th grade, when I was 11 years old, approximately. I don't know the exact year, but approximately 11 years old. What is the management principle? Principle is giving people to give permission to make mistake. If you're giving them permission to make mistake, it's going to be a radically different company starting today. Like I call anybody join my company, I tell them, hey, you can make a mistake up to $250. And if it's costing more than that, just check with your supervisor. And depending upon the supervisory level, they could make mistake on a higher amount and a higher amount. There are people who cost me thousands of dollars in mistake. They don't even know they made a mistake. Sometimes we don't tell them. Because if it's not needed for them to know, if it's too embarrassing for them, then we don't even tell them that they made a mistake. Because it's not going to help them. It's going to create guilt in them. Probably they'll quit and they will get confused. but we make sure that that mistake is not repeated. So that's an important thing too, that if somebody make a mistake, tell them, don't repeat your mistake. You give them permission to make one mistake about one thing, and don't repeat that mistake. Learn something from it and move forward, which leads me to the final point that I want to share with you. The final point that I want to share with you is compete for taking responsibility. This is a competition that we are not seeing. When something is screwed up, you lost money, something happened, you lost money, you lost business, you lost a client. Something happened. What are we competing to? We're competing to judge each other. We're competing to blame each other. The first thing is, I need to cover my rear. That's the thing that I need to cover. Yeah, what is going on there that we need to cover that much, right? So we need to take radical responsibility and compete as managers. This is a competition that you want to have in the company. You as a CEO shows up and say, I am responsible. And then your vice president says, I am responsible. The director says, I am responsible. The manager says, I am responsible. Now you're competing with each other. Before, what were you doing? What are the teams regularly doing? They are blaming, they're competing to blame who is responsible for this. Versus now you're competing with each other to build your business to the next level. So here's the thing, guys. If you want to succeed, do these three things. If you want to build a great team, if you want to move your business to the next level, $1 million, $10 million, $100 million mark, because I see them all in my practice. The number one thing that you need to do is become a mistake-worthy individual. You're worthy enough to make a mistake and move on to the next level. Number two, which is giving mistake-making permission to your team, which is the second thing. Give them the permission to make mistake. And then the third and final thing is, which is compete to take responsibility, and your company is going to grow to the next level. I'll see you on the next video. I'm Ruble Chandy, signing off.